Another year, another giant loop ride. The trailer is loaded, let's get on the road. My 790R is raring to go on a ride. Well, I am. My first Giant Loop ride happened before Giant Loop, the company, was formed. It was a small group of people on a dirt ride going from Bend all the way to Nevada and back, and that was in 2006. Then I attended the official Giant Loop rides in 2018, 2019, 2022, and in this video I'm reporting the 2023 edition, the largest of all Giant Loop events so far. The Giant Loop ride is based in the Crystal Crane Hot Springs, some 280 miles away from my home base. To get there, I cross the Cascades and then travel to East Oregon on Highway 20, going by Sisters and Bend. Not too far after going past Bend, there is Pine Mountain. You can see it to the right. I've been there a few times on motorcycle rides. It has an astronomy observatory on top of it, which is operated by the University of Oregon. Depending on the time of the year, during weekends, UofO volunteers offer a visitation to the site. They also offer a class on astronomy, and you can view specific objects in the night sky using these old telescopes or more modern instruments they bring to the mountain. I've camped there before and climbed the mountain from the south side a couple of times. It's a nice road. I learned recently this road is now part of the new Oregon Backcountry Discovery Route. If you do the Oregon BDR at the end of the summer, I recommend going to Pine Mountain, camping there, getting a lesson in astronomy, and taking a view of the night skies. And then enjoy the ride and the beautiful views along the way. Back to the drive, as I got closer to Burns, I started noticing gray skies on the distance. Hey, is that a dark cloud exactly on top of where I'm going? And then it started raining. Deja vu all over again. Thoughts of last year's Giant Loop ride came to my mind. I remember very well the mud on the road towards Stinking Water Pass that led some of our group of riders from last year to run into problems. With these thoughts in mind, I arrived in the Crystal Crane Hot Springs in the dark and under light rain. The same group of riders I met last year accommodated a spot for my truck and trailer again this year. It's a great group of riders. We all ride at the same level and we share similar group riding principles. I'm grateful for another chance to hang out and ride with them. The next day, I woke up rested and checked the group's motorcycles. Sean had his nice Tiger 800 XC, Eric Tate with his Africa Twin, and Eric with his Yamaha T7. Jose and his T7 did not make it this year. Jose, I missed riding with you this time around. Neither was Joe the Barber and his WR250R. But I met two new riders of this group of friends, one of them, Joe, riding a nicely built 890R, and Derek, riding a KLR. Gotta love a KLR. And Rick ditched his V-Strom and brought instead a nice Husqvarna 701, and Winter brought his BMW 1250 for the ride. Our group opted to not buy the breakfast dinner meal package offered by Giant Loop. The group was well organized and breakfast and dinners were great and plenty. After breakfast, I went for a quick walk around the downtown area of the event. I noticed a larger number of vendors. More on that later. This event, as I mentioned, was the largest of all Giant Loop events so far. So, where are we riding today? We set up our bikes. Our memories of the muddy roads from last year being just revived by last night's rain, the group decided to take it easy, so we decided for a route similar to last year. The parts we knew were safe. When we got out there though, despite yesterday's rain, which was heavy at times, the roads appeared to be in much drier condition than last year. So we stopped at the same spot as last year for a short photo shoot, and then we entered this beautiful canyon, just like we did last year. Check this out. This time we did not go to Juntura, but we took a break on the junction of roads as we did last year, which was another opportunity for a quick photo shoot. From here, we took a different route toward the Warm Springs Reservoir. I'm biased toward riding in California, Nevada, and Southeast Oregon, where you have a large view of where the road goes through, the big skies. But this landscape here, although greener with trees at times, it has mostly open areas as well. It offers open roads with large vistas. They are amazing as well. And the roads, for the most part, are easy to ride, at least when they are dry. At some point our group decided to take Stinking Water Road, but this time it was dry for the most part. Once back at camp, the group's evening tradition is to get out of the riding gear, have a beer, then have dinner, then attend the Giant Loop events after dinner. As I mentioned before, the number of vendors has increased. Someone may say this event became a commercial enterprise. Well, I think it was always a commercial enterprise. I don't see anything wrong with it. Our motorcycling community depends on the accessory industry. Well, you can go as minimalist as you want. A KLR, some engine protection bars, and some old bags. Nothing wrong with that. But you can also buy a motorcycle that offers a better starting point and then take it to the next level. Build your bike the way you want, if that's what you want to do. And events like this allow the riders to interact with new products and chat with vendors. When I first started riding, options to modify my motorcycle and make it more dirt-oriented were sparse, expensive. As adventure riding became more popular, more motorcycle models were introduced, accessories companies also expanded, and the product line kept growing through the years. It's easier today to build a more competent motorcycle for adventure riding. I witnessed Giant Loop being born and liked what they proposed for lightweight travel, like the Coyote bag, this white bag in the photo of my WR250R. It's a prototype from those early years and I still have it. Then I upgraded to the larger Great Basin for my Tiger 800XC. Today, I only use a small Mojave since I mostly do day rides these days. And remember, there was a time when most riders depended on side racks and heavy metal panniers for adventure riding. Today, we have a vast selection of luggage products similar to what Giant Loop offered initially, the majority being soft bags. Times change. Giant Loop is now a different company, but the evening events at the Giant Loop ride, at least for now, continue to be the same as in past years. I also appreciate motorcycling companies bringing their motorcycles and offering test rides in events such as this. Last year, I test rode the Pan America. This time, I did not test ride anything. If I'm attending a next Giant Loop event, I'll organize my time so I can test ride any bike that will be available. On the second day, we decided to take it easy and make sure all riders in our group could participate on the chosen route. We decided to go up the now tame Stinking Water Road and go all the way to the Stinking Water Pass near Highway 20. Again, what a nice road and what nice vistas. On the way back, we got on this road. It looked overgrown and seldom used. I was a bit hesitant, but we continued.
Is this the right road?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I could not see anyone following me, so I turned around. It turned out that Derek had a little encounter with the ground. He and his KLR were fine, sort of.
Oh, I see there, yeah. And the handlebars are straight?
No. Once it went over, I wasn't ready to come back.
Yeah, I know. I know the feeling. Been there.
Yeah.
Many times.
So we decided to go back to camp and pick an easier route to do that. Last year, in one of the evenings, we had pizza for dinner. A couple of us drove to Burns to pick them up. This time, even before the event started, it had been already decided that pizza was one of our evening meals. So on the way back from today's ride, we decided to go to the pizza parlor. Pizza accomplished, we rode back to camp and then joined the events. There were some good prizes being distributed, so we all had our tickets on the ready for the draw. We were a bit disappointed it would take longer than anticipated for the prizes to be drawn.
Hey, about that. Raffles only after dinner.
That sucks.
I think it sucks. I want the raffle now.
I'm ready to take mine now. You have a ticket.
But it was fun watching the events taking place.
Shoes. Open toe shoes doesn't count.
Or maybe it's just
Oh. beer in hand.
They did not win the contest, they certainly won the popular vote. At the end of the events, while back at camp, we received a visit from a few peaceful and inquisitive neighbors. Then we got gifted by the rise of a full moon and we did our late evening trip to the hot springs. The last step, as always it seems, is when people get a nightcap around the fire pits. So did we. It's that time of the day when things quiet down and the riding stories are told around campfires. We realized we did not have anything major to report this time.
Completely uneventful.
In the beginning.
I want to say the theme would be like hopelessness into like.
And then you had a prayer.
I did.
I didn't. I had coffee
said,
from over there.
God
Fucking
damn
saved
it.
you
Stop this rain.
I said, "Oh Lord, please."
Cooking in the rain and
Yeah,
Yeah, that was about a half a day of misery.
I forgot
Yeah.
that already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The air mattresses.
The air mattresses were an issue.
Kind of mud.
So it's all a lot.
Yeah.
It was all a lot.
Yeah, and sticking water boats can suck.
Yeah. It wasn't even that bad. I wrote it.
We all
Yeah, we got to make sure we tell Joe that even the Tenere could do it.
Even his 1250 GS can do it.
BMW GS
Yeah, even the
1250.
1250
Yeah,
went
yeah.
through it. So that's
Even
the
the new
moral.
guy
Joe, buy a bigger bike.
Before I end this video, I'll talk about my 790R. One day I'll make a video with a full review of this motorcycle. But for now, I'm going to give you a brief and very biased review of this bike. It is amazing. I know there is the 890 and I'm sure I'll like the 890 better for it has more power. But I'm far from riding my 790 to its limit. And still, it delivers awesome power, it is connected to the road, and it talks to me about it. Its suspension allows me to ignore rocky section of the roads. Although its motor sounds like a bunch of screws being shaken inside a glass jar when at idle or when cruising at low RPMs, when you push it under acceleration, the intake sounds are not bad at all. And it does have depth of acceleration. For my riding skills, this motorcycle is a lot more than plenty. It offers much more than what I will ever use. And when you put throttle on rally mode, it becomes even more fun. My off-pavement settings are always rally mode, ABS off-road, traction control on 5, and throttle setting at street or rally depending on the road conditions. Well, thank you for watching this video. It's time for me to say goodbye and get back home. It was another great event and I look forward to our next Giant Loop event, and more importantly, I look forward to camping and riding with these guys again. This time I did not win any bets with them, so next event with these guys, we all start from the same clean slate. Again, thank you for watching this video.